time, Texas still had the land all the way up in here. So that was his main thing during his term. His issue was determining the borders of Texas. He also had trouble with northern frontier defense. So if he was having frontier defense problems during this time, who do you think he was having problems with defense against? Indians, yes. Most likely the warlike Indians, the horse culture ones, such as the Apaches, Comanches, such like that. Wood did decide to run for his next term, but was not elected because people were not happy with the way he handled the defense against the Indians and wasn't able to expand Texas and get part of New Mexico to want to join Texas. So after that, the Texans elected Peter Hansborough Bell. Bell's main thing was he tried to get part of New Mexico to join Texas.
Sorry.
To join Texas. As you can tell by the shape of the state now, obviously it did not work. He was able to gain any of New Mexico because during that time, New Mexicans did not consider themselves Texans, even though that's part of the land of Texas. They considered themselves more Mexican than Texan. So that didn't work out for him. He decided to run for Congress during his term as governor. So he actually left 28 days early out of his term because he ran for Congress. Now, in 1853, we're on page 324. 1853, Elijah M. Peace, which is one of the main governors of this time, because he helped solve the debt crisis in Texas at this time, which we'll get more into in just a little bit. His main thing was he supported education, a lot of public education, and he liked to do building reforms, build public lands, public buildings, such as the governor's mansion, the general land office building, and the former Capitol, which was burned down in 1881. So it's not the Capitol we have now, but he did a lot of good things for Texas. In 1857, this is a main election for Texas because Sam Houston decided to run for governor. He's been the commander of the Army of Texas, president of the Republic, Congress, and now he's trying to run for governor. The man he ran against was Hardin Runnels. Houston campaigned hard in 1857, but he ended up getting beat by Hardin Runnels, which was the first time he's ever been defeated in an election. So that's the main thing right there. Runnels, during his time in office, had conflicts between settlers and Indians still, so they're not away. During that time, between George T. Wood and Hardin Runnels, there was not any way they didn't settle the conflicts with the Indians very well. So he tried to settle that. It didn't work very well for him, and he was unable to deal with them. So in 1859, Sam Houston decided he would run against Runnels again. And that marked the beginning of Houston became the first person to be the commander of the Army, president of the Republic of Texas, the congressman for Texas, and the governor. He was the first Texan to ever do that. And he was also the first man to ever serve as an elected governor to two states. Do y'all remember which state he was elected governor first before he came to Texas?
Tennessee.
Tennessee, yeah. He was elected to Tennessee in 1827. So that makes him even more popular because he has respect all around the nation. Okay, now we're going to talk about the debt and land issues. So when Texas became part of the United States, and when the annexation and the joint resolution with the United States, they were responsible for paying off all the debt they had. Starting in 1836, there was $1.25 million in debt, and that's in 1836. So that's after the war. Only 1.25. That's not bad for after a war. Do you think the debt grows a lot during the next 10 years, or do you think Texas is able to cut it down in the next 10 years between 1846?
It grows.
Grows?
I don't think it grows.
You do or don't? Yeah. It ended up growing in 1845, it gets up to $9.9 million. So obviously obviously they were not